righty. Okay, I got a very special guest to bring you guys today. I'm so excited to chat with her and really recap on this amazing journey that Ashley's been. So, welcome, Ash, to this little share interview series that I've been doing. I'm really excited to have you here and just kind of talk about how you've been taking care of your health the past couple months. I think your story is very relatable, super inspiring. I mean, your progress has really inspired me. So first of all, thanks for being here, babe.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Yes. So to give you guys a little background about Ash, I have known her since I was in 7th grade, since we were 13 years old. And I continue to just be a lifelong one of my best friends. And now we're both adulting it up in the real world. She works for Microsoft. She's crushing it over there doing marketing. Ash, if I had to describe you, babe, I would say, I don't know if perfectionist is the right word, but you truly thrive in anything that you do. And it is just so incredible. And I think such an amazing model for, especially now that you've been able to leverage that thriving mentality into your health.
Yeah.
So with that said, I'm going to actually give you the mic here. And with the first question being, what brought you to starting to really getting on top of your health and fitness, man? Like what inspired some change?
Yeah, so I'm getting married next summer, next August. And so definitely trying to shred for the wedding, on top of just being healthier overall. Once I turned 21, my metabolism totally slowed down. I gained more weight, wasn't able to keep it off as much. And so I've been trying to sustain being healthier in terms of what I eat and how much I work out since then, with, rises and falls in terms of how consistent I am with working out and eating healthy. And, knowing that I'm getting married next year, I definitely want to look good for my wedding and feel good. So that's definitely been a jump starter for getting back on the wagon in terms of my health, my fitness, and my overall wellness. And so I came to Ali a couple months ago, asking for help with my overall fitness and health journey. I know quarantine and Corona kind of put everybody into a funk in terms of just working out and eating. We're stuck at home. I used to, rely on Orange Theory for my workouts, and I was unable to do that. And so I was having a hard time finding ways to work out and stay active while being at home. And so definitely know that Ali is the expert in this field. And so reached out to her for help, both with, or initially with my fitness. I think this was about 2 months ago, and started working out with her, which has been so helpful and great to just have a motivator and someone to hold me accountable in terms of working out. And the plan was to, start with fitness and take baby steps. I have a year until my wedding, and so I've got some time. And so definitely started with fitness there. But then Al mentioned that she was starting a group on a nutrition journey, starting right after Labor Day. And Allie's always so great at convincing me to do stuff like this. And I totally trust her opinion. And she was raving on this new program she found. And so, of course, knowing that I can't get to where I want to be just by working out, I need to make changes on my eating habits as well. Whereas my fiance is one of the guys who's, tall, skinny, can eat McDonald's every day and not gain weight at all. We constantly have candy in the house. Like, I will not be getting to where I want to be for my wedding if I continue to eat like that. And so when she introduced this new transformation to me, I was really stoked to enjoy it. And I've really never done a cleanse. I've never done anything like this for 30 days, let alone 40. And so I was nervous going into it, but also really excited to really kickstart my journey, and was looking to this to, kick myself off for good habits over the next year, so that I'm really aware of what I'm putting into my body and how I'm working out as I get ready for my wedding.
Yes. Oh, So good. So much rationale behind it too. And I love how you kind of reverse the order actually of a lot of people that initially come and want to get help from me. I actually make them dig a little bit deeper as to why they want to do it. And so the fact that yours was for the wedding, I was like, let's just start here and see if we figure out some more motive, like a deeper reason to stay disciplined throughout the journey, which I think is definitely presented itself. But I love how it's all been just ignited of, hey, I'm shredded for the wed. And it's pretty amazing to see actually a lot of girls and guys finding that being a really successful motivator. But then what am I going to do to be able to sustain this lifestyle for, past my wedding, which I think you're definitely on the journey of discovering. So on that note, and just to give you guys a little insight behind how seriously she's taken this transformation, Ash, I knew was going to be the person that really was going to be a dictator of whether this process works or not, because you have direction, you know how to execute. And not every person in this program has that mentality, but I was like, all right, if this can be successful for Ash, this can probably be pretty successful for everyone else, because you do everything to a T. And so that is where your transformation has also been so exciting, because like you'll text me and be like, dude, there's no organic chicken at the store. Am I okay? And like, yeah, of course. Like, you're not going to die if you don't eat organic chicken every time you eat chicken. So anyways, now on that note, let's talk about, some of the results that you've seen throughout this transformation. Like tell me about it, babe. Like, how's it been going?
Yeah. So first I want to say that I was really nervous going into the transformation because it's called a cleanse. And when you think cleanse, you think like a juice cleanse where I'm going to be super starving, cranky all the time, going to have no energy. And so I was really nervous for that because I am a person who I eat a lot. I definitely eat a lot. And so I was nervous that I was just going to be hungry and unhappy the whole time. And I will say that being on this transformation, I'm continuously filling myself up with foods and supplements that are good for me. And I don't find that I'm hungry or hangry by any means. And so I think that's one reason why I've really been able to stick to this transformation and program so closely, is just because it really isn't like you're depriving yourself from food or nutrition or anything that you're eating. I have definitely tried to stick to it to a T, and have been definitely like, oh, I can't have that little drop of maple syrup in this healthy cookie.
Over to my house. And, and we'll make these clean sheets. We're like, yeah, dude, they're totally approved on this thing. And she's like, there's maple syrup in these. I'm like, oh yeah. Like, oh yeah, whoops.
Yeah. So I've definitely been like, okay, I'm totally going to fully dedicate myself to these 40 days. And I'm on day 30 and am still killing it, still feeling really great. Change wise so far, I've lost 10 pounds. I've lost several inches around my body, and, I've been working out still with Allie, which is awesome and also sustainable. Like I said earlier, my wedding's a year away. And so I'm not expecting, or I wasn't looking for some big crash diet where I'd lose weight and gain it all back. I think it's really important and really great that with this program, it's more sustainable and long lasting. It's not a crash diet by any means. And so the 10 pounds that I've lost over the course of 30 days have been, gradual, and I'm really excited about it. And aside from that, I've just learned a lot about what I should and shouldn't be putting into my body. This program has been super educational for me in terms of learning about portions and what to pair foods with, what foods are good for you. And, normally when you hear like a cleanse or something, you're taking out, like whether it's carbs or meat, whatever it may be, this cleanse has done a great job at really educating me on, okay, these are healthy carbs that you should be eating. And this is how much of them you should be eating. And same with meat, and just really educating me on how I should and shouldn't be eating. And so I think those lessons are something that I definitely am going to take with me, not only over the next year, but over years to come. Especially because it is not something where, you know, I'm depriving myself of food. I feel full, I feel great throughout the day. And so with that, I think that understanding these lessons about what I should and shouldn't be eating, how much I should and shouldn't be eating are really helpful and sustainable.
Oh, that's so awesome to hear. So, so awesome. Because that's someone like you, right? And I don't expect everyone to be at your level of really executing this. But someone like that can easily get exhausted with, if I can't do this to a T, I'm not going to do it at all. And so the fact that you are saying, oh, yeah, moving forward, I mean, you love pasta, you're still going to have pasta, you know, you're a little bit of sweets, your red wine, these things that you love. It doesn't mean you don't ever get to have them. We were kind of talking about earlier, it's a new definition of what moderation looks like.
Yep.
And right, like can you want to talk into like that, maybe share an example of how you've changed your definition of moderation?
Yeah, for sure. I think like with the foods that we've been suggested to eat and the portions we've been suggested to eat while on this transformation, I don't think that it's something, I think those are lessons that I totally will take with me after this journey. I was talking with Ali about, whether it's, trying to follow to this schedule during the week, because I know I can do it. I know I can eat these portions and still be full. Whereas before I was eating big plates full and go back for seconds. I now know, like, my body can run off of these smaller, more healthier portions and with this cleaner food. So, without depriving myself of the pastas, of the sweets and of the wine, I think, it's definitely been a lesson in terms of I can still stick to this meal plan most of the time during the week. And if there are times where, I do go out and have pasta or do I have wine, I don't need the big plate of pasta they give you. I can have a cup of it and still totally be satisfied, be full, and get that craving in. And another thing that I didn't mention earlier about this transformation too is just how much my cravings and tastings have changed. At first, I've got my beet juice here. I didn't love the beet juice, and now I crave it. And I'm like, this is like my daily Kool-Aid.
How can one crave beets? That's crazy, right? Isn't that
right?
crazy?
It's like, now it's like a sweet to me. And so it's, moving forward, instead of reaching for some peanut M&Ms, if I were to reach for some berries or something for that craving, I think that's definitely just like a lesson that I've learned in changing my habits over the course of these 30, almost 40 days.
Amazing. And that alone, aside from everything else that you said, that right there is how you're going to create lasting change. That is how you stay healthy over the course of a lifetime, is to where all of a sudden your taste buds start to change, right? Your cravings, because when we're craving stuff, like especially when our blood sugar drops and we get really, quote unquote, you mentioned hangry earlier, the first thing we want is something like usually a carb that has sugar in it. We want something that our system's going to be able to process quick and convert into energy. And the fact that you can, through this journey, you've kind of been able to change those or minimize those cravings, right? You no longer rely on willpower. Like, you don't look at those M&Ms and say, I'm not going to have you today. That internal battle. When you no longer have that battle, your ability to control what you put in your body goes up drastically. And so that is amazing. I know when you told me you loved that beet juice, I was dying. Yeah. I love it too. But when you in the beginning, and I hear that often through this transformation, actually, with a couple things that people are like, ooh, I don't know if I love the taste of that. And after about 3 days, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I love the taste of it, you know, but it's weaning off that sugar and those artificial sweeteners, man. They trick
Yeah.
your taste buds a little bit to telling you what's
Yep,
good.
for sure.
What's
I
not.
think too, another thing that is really helpful in understand or in knowing that I can eat like this sustainably beyond the cleanse and even beyond my wedding is just seeing how much of a difference it has made in terms of like my energy and focus throughout the day. Um, while I'm still missing having coffee as a pick me up when I wake up in the morning, my head is clear and I can totally get a ton of work done. Whereas before I relied on coffee to ramp my brain up and to get me going and working. But now I can wake up and I can just get cranking on work and I'm not wasting time just with like that fuzzy brain. And so my productivity has totally increased, which is awesome and huge. And Al and I were talking a little bit before too. Before the cleanse, I had been weaning off of my antidepressants, and now I'm fully off of them, and I'm feeling good. And I think part of that is, the food that I'm putting in my body, but also the supplements I'm getting through the stuff I'm taking through Purium. I know like the Super Life formula is supposed to help with your mood, and even like my doctor suggested supplements instead of antidepressants. And I think just this overall nutrition change has totally helped and made it so that it doesn't feel like I'm missing anything. And by any means, don't crash off of your antidepressants or whatever medication you're on. It's been a long time in the making. But I think that this has definitely helped make me still feel good while not being on them.
Holy moly, dude. That right there is such a powerful, powerful change that you just made. We've had conversations about this, but for those of you who are on medications for chronic illnesses or any mental, neurological conditions, right? Anxiety, depression, ADHD, ADD. First of all, those are all directly linked to your gut. Okay. Your gut, what you put in your stomach is 70% of the serotonin that's released in your system is originated from your gut. And that's your happiness hormone. So if you're not taking care of that bad boy, what do you think is going to be going on up here? And any medication you take that has a side effect on it, it's not probably something you should be on for the long term. And so the fact that your antidepressant, which is something that actually a side effect is weight gain, is one of those things, which is one of your main goals in the beginning. The fact that you're able to now be free of that drug and replacing it with whole foods, because these supplements that are coming through this cleanse Purium, they're superfoods, right? They're non-GMO, organically farmed superfoods, and they're picking up the slack where our current food system is lacking. And that food system is getting us to the place of needing antidepressants. So what's amazing is you started for shredding for the WED, which is still very much at the forefront, but to now sustainably being able to come off of your antidepressants. That's amazing, babe.
Yeah, I'm excited and so grateful.
Oh, good. All right, babe. Well, is there anything else you want to share?
I don't think so. Just very excited that, I had the opportunity to engage in this transformation with you and the other group of amazing women who did it as well. It's been a blast. I have 10 more days and looking forward to sticking it out, and also, bringing these learnings through me over the next year and beyond as well. So it's definitely been a great experience that I'm super grateful for.
Sweet. Oh, Ash, it's been such a pleasure. And I continue being able to be a witness and a guide along the rest of your journey. And thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us today. I know there will be many who resonate with it. So yeah, babe, thank you so much.
Thank you.